Hi, Amanda. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
That's good. So I know this is like the second time that we're meeting, and I know that the setup with us doing like a video session is a little bit different than like your traditional session. So I just wanted to like formally invite you to the session and into the environment here. So
Yeah, totally. I think last time it was fine, and I think we can keep going this way. I hope it's okay that my dog is right here. He's just on my lap. His name is
yeah,
Cash, so
okay,
he doesn't interrupt us.
okay, yep, nope, that's totally fine. So, what brings you in for services today?
Well, kind of just going off of last week. I mean, I think I'm just having a lot of anxiety about when I graduate from school and like looking for jobs and trying to figure out what that's going to look like for my life and my family, whether we have to relocate um, or something like that. So I don't know. I think it'll go okay, but I have a lot of worry about it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because it's like sounds like it's a big transition from school. Um,
Yeah, like the last two years, it's like consumed my life, and I also really worry if I pick a job and I maybe relocate my family for it or something like that. That and then what if I don't like it? Um, and then if I have to like change things or I don't want to disappoint anybody or myself.
yeah, yeah. That sounds like a lot that you have on your plate right now.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of does feel like that. It's always like lingering there. It's not something that a decision I need to make right now, but it definitely is lingering in the back of my mind as I'm approaching being done with school.
And when are you going to be done?
The end of summer.
The end of summer. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's coming up.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, so how often do you think about it? Like, is it on a daily basis or?
Yeah, I'd probably say on a daily basis, because I signed up for those emails, that pop up jobs in your area. And then, of course, that
Right.
just sparks that spiral of thought in my brain.
Right, right. Yeah, any form of like a transition is can be something to be concerned about, but especially something like this if you're worried about having to move and relocate your family, and that sounds like it could be stressful. Like you said, like what if you don't like the job? I mean, that wouldn't be, a great situation to put your family in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as your family goes, it's you and your husband or your fiance?
Yes, my fiance and my dog, but I mean, this is also kind of another transition as we're thinking about hopefully starting a family like coming this winter. So that also kind of adds on the plate, of if where I'm going, if I'm going to have, paid leave and that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
If I have been there long enough. So yeah, it's just all the different options and choices that kind of seem to be overwhelming. Um, and
So is it something that you've been able to open up with your fiance about?
yeah, and he's very supportive, but he's also very supportive in the fact that he says like, whatever you want to do, I'm okay with. Like
Mm,
I support you in any decision you make, and that's really helpful. But it, I also then like the whole decision is on me. Um,
so maybe it adds on to like this pressure and this worry.
right, like I mean, okay, so he'll let me do whatever I want. Maybe I want him to say, no, I want you to find a job in Faribault, which is one of the towns that I could potentially work in. Um,
Hmm.
but he's not that decisive, and neither am I.
Right. Right. That's understandable. Understandable.
Yeah.
So so you're worried about moving. So do you feel like another thing that you're trying to think about is like where you're trying to go in this field, or do you feel like you have that under control?
I think I have that under control, and I think I have enough options. So
Okay.
that feels good.
Okay.
But
Because your degree you're working on is your master's in
social work.
social work. Okay. Perfect. And then what does your husband do? Or your fiance, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Um, he is a construction worker. So
Oh,
does, he's a superintendent for a construction company, and he can kind of go not wherever he wants, but within an hour of a certain place. So that gives me a lot of options, and yeah.
so would you say then, are you saying like his job or career is a little bit more flexible than yours?
In a way, I think, especially at this point we are in right now, because I'm in a point where I'm going to be starting a career path, or continuing maybe, because I do currently work in the field, but um, and that his is also a lot more consistent.
Okay.
There for so long, and he will work there, predictable
Right.
maybe.
Right. So how about as far as like commuting? Because are you saying he can commute within an hour from where you're at?
Yeah.
So do you have that same flexibility too, or are you wanting to be a little bit more stationary because you're talking about, starting a family and things like that? Um,
Yeah,
are
I think I want to be closer to where I work. He also, he has a work truck, so they provide gas and the vehicle. Um,
Nice.
and I currently commute, and that puts just a toll on me and my car. So I would
Right.
like, yeah, be closer to maybe where kids' potential school might be, or something like that. Uh,
Right.
and maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead. Maybe I need to stay in the present year and stop thinking ahead so much.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, I think, with thinking ahead and trying to be prepared. Because when you move, are you trying to buy a house when you move? Are you?
We are thinking that we want to build a house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's one
Pretty
of my
cool.
yeah one of my fiance's kind of lifelong dreams. And so yeah, finding he's found a couple properties, or we could build on his parents' property, and so I could look close to there.
Okay, so do you have a general idea then of where that is? I mean, if you're going to build, then you would build on his parents' property.
Yeah, that's one of our options, or
Oh,
another option would be buying some property. We
okay,
haven't decided yet, and some of what determines that is determined by where I find a job, or where I think that I want to work.
gotcha. Absolutely. Okay. So, looking at all this as a whole, um, you coming in and us visiting, what do you want to work on when you come here? Like, what will be your goals as far as like by the end of this, how you're gonna feel like, okay, I feel prepared and ready to make some decisions.
I think just like talking it out, kind of like really feeling what like my anxiety about it is coming from, because even just from talking to you, like maybe it's not even about the job, it's more about like the place, and the big decision of picking a place. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, maybe just like narrowing down, I think would help kind of ease some of that, because it's all in my head right now, and yeah, just helping me talk through it, and
Mm-hmm.
so I can maybe present my fiance with something a little more organized than what's in my head right now.
Okay. So organizing. I'm just taking some notes here, so that next time when we meet, we can have something, start working on some stuff. Okay.
Sure.
Working through some of those anxieties and like the worries.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm sure you have enough on your plate. You don't need to be worrying about that all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
One less thing to worry about, definitely.
Yeah. There's a lot right now.
Yeah, because so you're engaged. So have you guys planned like a date?
Yep. At the end of August. So
The end of August. Okay.
we're done with school.
All right. Yeah. So you got a lot going on right now, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. So our time is up for today, but I would like to send you a sessions rating scale so you could rate the session, and then yeah,
Sure.
we can go on. I can see you next week.
Perfect. Sounds
All right.
wonderful.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.